Hello children, welcome to BoBo's very first bedtime story, and hopefully as we get going we'll tell lots of stories in different places and in different authors, and there are some fantastic children's bedtime stories out there. So this is for my grandchildren Summer, Dylan, Daisy Ray and Daisy Ray's brother Harley, and for any child whose mum or dad might be a bit busy and they'd like to have a bedtime story, maybe children who haven't got their own grandparent, or just right at that moment they want to be occupied. Hope you enjoy. This is about a little dog called Kipper, and it's a story about I've got a black eye there. This is a story about a dog who's not very satisfied, and it's written by a very, very well-known British author called Mick Inkpen. So here we go, some fantastic illustrations as well, and yeah, illustrations are the copyright of Mick Inkpen, and I hope you enjoy this one. I'm BoBo, and this is BoBo's bedtime stories. Are you ready? Here we go. Kipper. Kipper was in the mood for tidying his basket. "You are falling apart," he said to his rabbit. "You are chewed and you are soggy," he said to his ball and bone. "And you are disgusting," he said to his smelly old blanket. And out they went. And there he is, look, throwing his rabbit and his bone and his ball. It's his ball, look, and his blanket there, out of his basket. He's just gone whoosh. "That's better," said Kipper. But he couldn't get comfortable. Here's poor old bunny rabbit, look, on the floor there, and he's in his basket there, look, and he is tossing and turning. It was not better. Now his basket was so uncomfortable. He twisted and he turned, he wiggled and he wriggled, but it was no good. He could not get comfortable. "Silly basket," said Kipper, and off he went outside. There he is. Off he goes. You can just see his tail there, look. Poor rabbit. Outside there were two ducks. 1, 2. And they looked very uncomfortable, standing on one leg. "That's what I should do," said Kipper. But he wasn't very good. He could only wobble. Wobble, 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 wobble. He's standing on one leg, look there, and he's wobbling away. And the ducks are standing on one leg looking at him thinking, silly boy. Some wrens, a wren is a type of bird, had made a nest outside in a flower pot. And it looked very cosy. "I should sleep in one of those," said Kipper. But Kipper would not fit inside a flower pot. You see him trying to get into the flower pot on his head. He's trying to fit his head in the flower pot. He was much too big for the flower pot. He was much too big. What's he like? And then squirrels, look at the squirrels watching him from their nest in the tree. 2 squirrels. 1, 2. The squirrels had made their nest out of sticks. "I will build myself a stick nest," said Kipper. But Kipper's nest was not very good, because he could only find 3 sticks. Look, that's all he could find. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's no good. He's standing there with his hands on behind his back, thinking. So he's looking around again And the sheep look very happy sitting in the grass. Can you see the sheep in the grass? Look, there they are. That was no good either. The grass was much too tickly. He's being tickled by all the grass. Probably like you get tickled sometimes. And there's a little buzzy bee there, look. Buzz, 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 buzz. Oh, look, there's a frog. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. The frog had found a sunny place in the middle of a pond, and he was sitting on a lily pad. I wonder if I could do that, said Kipper. No, he couldn't. In the water he went, look, and he's wearing the lily pad on top of his head. It looks like a hat. He's wet through. He couldn't sit on a lily pad. He's too heavy, too big. Only a little frog can sit on the pad. I know, he said. Perhaps a nice dark hole would be good, thought Kipper. Well, the rabbits seem to like them. You see the rabbits there, look. 1, 2, 3 rabbits. There's a big dark hole, and he's getting ready to have a little peek through in the hole. The rabbits seem to like dark holes. But it was not a rabbit hole. Boof! Up pops Mr. Badger. Wow. And the rabbits scampering away there in fright. And Kipper rushed away indoors and hid, shaking underneath his blanket. Poor Kipper, look, he's frightened. And he's hiding underneath his lovely old smelly blanket. You know, the one he threw away and he didn't like to begin with. Kipper put the blanket back in his basket. He found his rabbit. I'm sorry, Rabbit, he said. I'm really sorry, Rabbit. He found his bone and his ball. I like my basket just the way it is. Yawned Kipper. So he climbed in his basket and pulled the blanket over his head. It is the best basket in the whole wide world, said Kipper. There he is, look, starting to fall asleep underneath his blanket. Rabbit's by his side, and his bone and his ball are in there too. They're all in there. Ah, and all of a sudden, Kipper's falling asleep, and all the other animals are going, shh, because it's time to go to bed and to sleep. Shh, don't make a sound. He is fast asleep. So if it's time for you to go to sleep, I send you a big kiss, and I hope you enjoyed BoBo's very, very first bedtime story. Night.